So hello and welcome to the Lewis Nichols Show, and I am really excited for this interview because it's the first time you've ever been on the show. Kerry Katona, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
How was your journey down?
Long, and I'm so over it. Mind you, it's the longest thing, longer than any relationships I've ever had, that's for sure. That's how long it took getting here.
Well, today's it's going to be a life story, so we're going to talk about from the very beginning to where you are now. Don't worry.
For a week.
What was your childhood like? So what was growing? Because I know it's quite tough because you were in foster care as well, weren't you?
Yeah.
So what was that like for you being in foster? Because I imagine that's difficult.
Well, I didn't go into foster home until I was 13. But my childhood was crazy. I love my mum to bits, and she hates it when I bring it all up. But it's my story. My first memory was watching my mum slit her wrist at the age of 3. She did that till 17. My mum had what we call manic depression, which is bipolar, and she drank and did drugs and things like that. And then when I was born, do you want to tell this story, Ryan? You know better than me. When I was born, the guy who I called Dad, his dad I called Granddad, right? Okay. When I was born for 2 years, first 2 years. My mum left the guy who I called Dad for me Granddad and married him. So my Granddad became my dad and my dad became my brother. And then when I was 3, she married him, and that he was my dad. I always known him as my dad. But then when I was 7, she left him for a woman who then told me that none of them were my dad. It was this other guy. So I was a product of an affair. But during that time, I lived with my Nana Betty, my aunties, here, there and everywhere. It's very, very complicated.
Wow. I'm just trying to... Do they still get on, the dad and the son? Oh,
I've no idea. When I say my dad, I mean my stepdad. He passed away. He was 30 years older than my mum. My stepbrother, I've not seen in 1,000,001 years. I lent him 20 grand when I became famous and never heard of him since.
Wow.
Yeah, I've not seen that side of the family for years and years and years because every one of them told stories on me. Oh.
That is actually...
It's character building. And then... Oh, God, I lived with my nan, and then my mum was in refuges. Then we got put in refuges because my mum's fella beat her up, and was in 3 refuges, and then was in the Salvation Army. Then we moved to London, and then my mum's fella told us he was Freddy Krueger. He stabbed my mum in the leg. I pulled the knife out, and then he wanted to cut our tits and fanny off and chop us up and put us in the fridge. And then my mum went back to him, but I got put in foster home instead.
Wow, I've never had
That's only a little bit of a story.
That's pretty something.
Yeah, it's only a little bit, really, isn't it?
I mean, during all of that, with everything going on, how did you have an ambition to be a musician?
I didn't want to be a musician.
How did that come about then?
I just wanted to be famous. I always knew. I remember being about 5, and my stepdad had custody of me because I was only allowed to see my mum at a weekend. And I just always knew I was going to be famous. I think I was just so desperate to be loved. It wasn't like I just wanted to be loved.
Yeah.
I was so desperate to, if I become famous, I'll get my mum a house and this will happen. You have this image of it all being normal, and that's what it was. I just knew something was going to happen.
Because you seem to have a close relationship with your mum.
Love my mum to bits.
So when you were in foster care, at that time, did you have any kind of anger towards your mum? Or No.
My mum was, like any child, was the centre of my universe. I'm an only child to my mum.
Yeah.
But I was heartbroken that she chose Dave over me and then said I made it all up. And that was really, really upsetting. I mean, she'll tell you the truth now. But I'll never forget thinking I'll never go through that. And then my third husband, who beat me up, and I said to my mum, I get it. It's like you're being groomed. So she was under his spell. Like, she was on and off with him from the age of 16. He's dead now. But I was only allowed to have supervised visits with my mum. Wasn't allowed to be on my own.
Wow.
Yeah, but she was my mum. She was more like me mate, my mum. And then she gave me my first drug when I was 40. I don't mean to laugh because it sounds dead made up.
She gave you your
first drug, yeah.
Okay. At 14?
Yeah. I wasn't allowed to see my mum, but I snuck off to see her. It's when she was a lesbian. And she went in the toilet with a girlfriend that was in there for ages. And then I followed her and said, what are you doing? And she went, I said, what's that? She went, yeah, sherbet. I went like that and popped my gum, and it was speed. I had a great time.
But now you look back, you know, because you're a mum yourself. When you think back to that, being 14 and being given a drug.
Terrible. But I you got to remember, the life I was brought up with was my mum being on a gyro. You know, I'd be living on ketchup butty sometimes. I was brought up in pubs.
Yeah.
Because my mum drinks every day. I didn't speak to my mum for a long time because she said, but she's the only mum I've got. I've had some great stories with my mum because I didn't know any different. I thought that's what you did. Never. I found out one of my children smoked cigarettes. I was heartbroken, devastated. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my kids have had a completely different upbringing. Despite the fact that I've done drugs, they was completely unaware of it.
Yeah.
They only know about my drugs because I told them and from what other people have told them, but they've never witnessed anything.
Has your mum ever spoke to you later in life and said, "Do you know what? I shouldn't have done that"?
She's absolutely devastated, but I wouldn't change any of
Yeah.
it. I wouldn't change a single thing.
And look at you now, both of you. You know, you've got that relationship.
I wouldn't change any of it because I can't have regrets. What's that going to do for me? It's like being in a rocking chair going back and forth. I can't do fuck all about it. You know, but I've got some great stories to tell and it's moulded me as the person I am today.
So when did page 3 happen for you? Because you did that for the
As
Sun.
I started sprouting, really. I was a very, very young developer. I think I always remember pulling my Mickey Mouse nightie down, going, oh my God, look at that. And lying in the bath and they were just like my little buds were just, I thought, God, and I thought, oh, got a good set of tits on me here. And I started being a pastry. I started doing glamour modelling when I was 16. They were unbelievable. Google them. Honestly, they're fake. I actually remember the S Club girls, I think you got one of them, actually thought I had implants when I was in Atomic Kitten.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, there wasn't.
But you didn't, all natural?
They were all mine, yeah.
Wow.
I've had 2 breast reductions to keep bloody growing. No, but I was a pretty girl, but I'm not one of these girls who's like, I'm so fit. I'm a tomboy. I'm a bit quirky. Do you know what I mean? I hung out with the lads, but that was my get out of. I got put in a semi-independence flat when I was 16 because I wanted to be a pastry model, but because I was in foster home, I had a court order on me. So in case Dave tried to kidnap me or something like that. So I had the court order lifted, which means I had to go and live on my own. So I got put in semi-independence flat when I was 16, which is like a bed sit in a big house where you're sharing a bathroom, but you've got your own room and toilet and a kitchen. And then I got my first council flat when I was 17. I asked you how long have we got? Then I got my first council flat when I was 17 and I was doing a bit of pastry and then I was in a nightclub and just got spotted and my life just...
So did that help? So doing the page 3, did that link at all with Atomic Kitten and getting that part?
Well, when I was in a nightclub and this guy approached me called Davey T.
Okay. From
the Pawn Kings, right? Now, when I was a kid, I always sang karaoke. That was my thing. I loved going in the pubs on a Sunday and singing karaoke. And what was all right like? And I also used to dance. I was a lap dancer as well, fully nude, while I was in Atomic Kitten because I had to pay the bills. And he said, do you want to be in this band, the Pawn Kings? And I thought, I'm not going to be no bleeding Bluey. Anyway, it turned out to be a real band. And 2 weeks later, I'm in Germany, like in this hot pink suit, pretending to play the keyboard for MTV in front of 10,000 people, not knowing what was going on. Yeah, look at me. And then I started doing Menamosis. You remember Menamosis with Terry Christian? And I welcome to Menamosis. And I danced on that, like in PVC stuff, honestly. And then he introduced me to Andy McCluskey from All Casual Manoeuvres in the Dark.
Oh, yeah.
OMD.
80s band.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I've never been for an audition in my life. And I walked in with my portfolio, with me pastry pictures, with my tits out, told a few jokes, sang Big Spender. And they based a band on my personality. And I was a founder member.
And so when you met your other band members, what were your initial thoughts? Did you click straight away?
Well,
or were you
originally it was Heidi Range from the Sugar Babes and Liz McLaren. Now, I was 18. I had my 18th birthday in Atomic Kitten, so I had no guardianship. My mum was always on the piss. I was living on my own. And then Andy got us a flat, like an apartment. Me and Liz moved in together. Liz is like 2 years younger than me, and Heidi was like only 14 or something like that. Wow. So they all had to have guardians, whereas I was like
old enough.
My own devices, like. And then Heidi or Liz slapped one or the other across the face. They didn't like each other. So Heidi left, and then Tash joined, and I couldn't stand her at first. And then they said, give her 2 weeks, see how you feel. If not, then she'll go. Anyway, I just fell madly in love with Tash. And 4 weeks later, we got a record deal. And we was all thick as thieves. And it was just, for me, the climb to fame was amazing. But when I got there, I didn't like it at all. It's one of the reasons why I left. I was like, this is not what I signed up for.
It was a bit of a roller coaster because you, like you said, you got your deal. You then, with Right Now, go straight into the charts.
Yeah.
And then your life kind of changed because now you're a pop star.
Yeah.
What was that feeling like from getting a record deal, doing the song Right Now, and then suddenly you're performing on all the TV shows, you're in the magazines, you're selling a lot of records?
Yeah. You know what? It was really, really hard work, and people don't understand that the climb was so exciting and so amazing. And then we're doing like SMTV and CDUK, and we're doing the big breakfast. So we didn't actually get to witness you see all the fans outside the railings. Because we're on the road so much, you don't actually get to see the reaction from your friends and family. And I remember this one time we was finally given like a week break or something. We hadn't been home in like months and months and months. And I went to my local nightclub that I always used to go to, and I had to leave. I didn't like it at all, like how people were treating me, like, oh, I know your dad, dear. Well, I don't. Oh, I know your sister. I'm her only child. Oh, she's sleeping with my boyfriend. It was so fucked up, all these people making these stories up. It was really, really weird. And then especially people who I loved was treating me different. And I was like, I haven't changed. You're changing because of my success. So in that, I tried to be as down to earth as possible, stay doing the coke and getting people drugs. Oh, I'm still normal. And, and it was so bizarre. And it was really weird because I was in a girl band for a minute and the fame just followed me. And it wasn't I left because I wanted to be a mum and a wife. That was my dream more than anything. But it was bizarre.
Because you said you always wanted to...
It's still bizarre now.
But you said earlier, you've always wanted to be famous. Yeah. And you can get more famous than being in a band. Yeah. So that was kind of the shocking thing when you decided to leave. I mean, was it because wasn't the band nearly dropped by the label before Whole Again?
Before Whole Again, they was going to drop it and we begged them, can we just release it, right? Yeah. And so during that promotion, I then revealed I was pregnant. And I wasn't enjoying the fame because a lot of the time, I didn't actually, it got to a point like, do you remember Chums on SMTV?
Oh, yes, yeah, I do.
And then we'd do photo shoots and it'd always be Kerry. Not Atomic, was me because I was gobby, I think. And I remember we did a photo shoot and it was a really famous one where we're like in cat suits like this and it was supposed to be for the Sun, funny enough, on page 3. And it was supposed to be 3 of us, and we was up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to like the Disney Channel or something like that. And me and Carl, our tour manager, I said, I'll go get the newspaper. The girl said, and I went in with Carl and I picked the paper and I opened it. I went, oh, for fuck's sake. And he looked at me and went, it's just you. And I went, yeah, I'm not getting back in the car. And things like that, like they'd always use me on Chums. And I was like, I've not got a say in any of this, you know what I mean? And then they was more interested in my past and me being in foster home and being, being a page 3 model. And then obviously I got with Brian McFadden from Westlife. And then it was more like Brian and Kerry. But I was like, oh my God, this is just an absolute nightmare. And then I fell pregnant doing the whole promotion for Whole Again. And I started spotting, bleeding a little bit. And I was like, you know what, I'm ready to leave. They knew I was going to leave anyway. Yeah. I did tell them, said, look, it was just really weird because then they're putting up at me used to being a lesbian. It just affects everybody. Yeah. You just think, oh, I'm going famous and paparazzi are going to follow me. And it's like, oh my God, this is so intense, especially if you've got skeletons in your closet, if you've got a childhood like I had. They zone in on one member of the band and that's, because I had the craziest upbringing and then you get with a member of a global international pop star. It's just really overwhelming. You just say, oh my God, right, that's it. I think I'm just going to go.
Well, a lot of the stories were that there were some broken relations between you and the band. Was that true, or were you getting on?
There is now. No, I love the girls.
So back when you left originally?
No, we was all absolutely fine. Love the girls to bits. And they understood. And I think Tash took it the hardest. And then, because we were sick as thieves, but now not one of them talked to me. And I love him to bits. And I wish him nothing but love and joy and happiness and peace and success.
We're going to go with that one a little bit later. But what I wanted to talk to you about, because I think a lot of people are confused with Whole Again. Are you on the song? Or
it's my number one. So the song that went to number one in the charts was me, Tash and Liz. But Jenny did half of the promotion. So once it went to number one, because I'd already left, they then changed it, the music video, to Jenny.
Wow. How do you feel about that? Because that song's iconic.
It is iconic.
And
I have
your
a number one.
vocal is on there, but people don't associate you with the number one.
Really?
Well, because a lot of people, when I've told that you're coming on, were like, well, was she in the band when Whole Again was... So it's that confusion.
I think, do you remember Live and Kicking?
No.
Oh, you're shit. Do you do any research? So I was on there and... do you mind? Taking the piss. So I did the promotion, the first half of the promotion for Whole Again. I was like, hi, I'm pregnant. I've decided to leave the band. This is my last time singing Whole Again. It went huge. But I feel like I got the biggest number one out of anything because I got my Molly.
Yeah.
And I got away with not doing the other half of the promotion, but the number one was my vocals.
Because I recognise your vocal in there, but when I seen there were two versions.
Yeah. So I think that was something to do with Jenny. I think Jenny wanted me off everything, which is really bizarre because if I hadn't left, she wouldn't have been there.
Can I ask you, obviously you left, the number ones for Atomic Kitten kept coming.
I wasn't bitter, I wasn't jealous at all, I promise. I was really, really over the moon. No, I was happy for them. I was really, really happy for them.
But was part of you a bit, do you know, I wish I was there for that?
A little bit there was, but I think for me, I generally walked away because I didn't enjoy the fame. Yet I've become the most famous one out of them all, which is so bizarre to me because I was in the band for a minute. I did 4 singles and that was it. And they went on to be so successful. And yet I'm still on the front cover of magazines and I don't get it. But thanks.
And you left, you said you didn't like the fame.
Yeah.
I'm a celebrity, get me out of here, came calling.
Yeah.
You left because you don't like the fame. So what made you say yes to that?
I got bored. So I was doing loose swimming. For me, it was, I didn't like almost obsessing the other girls with it all being about me and then also about me and Brian. It wasn't about the music. And I'm not like, oh my God, listen to this riff. Oh, let's write this song. I just enjoy performing. I love entertaining. So I love songs. I love singing, but I love being an entertainer more than anything. And when I fell pregnant, I just wanted to be a mum and a wife. That's all I ever dreamed of. And then I was doing loose women. And then I've been at home for about 2.5 years, just being a housewife. And I got asked to do The Jungle. And because I lived in Ireland, because I was Kerry Katona when I won The Jungle, you don't really get the show. I think they'd only been 2 series.
Yeah,
and I remember
2.
flying home to go visit my mum. She went, oh, you should do this. I saw an episode. I'm not fucking going on that. Get lost. And I got the offer. I thought, oh, why not? And Brian didn't want me to do it.
What made you say yes? Is it the boredom?
You know what it is for me? I am so eternally grateful. I am so blessed. I never thought I'd ever go on a plane or go on a holiday. For me, it's creating memories, and I love being able to go, I did that.
Yeah.
Because the stats of me being in foster home and achieving what I've achieved below minus. So to actually get these opportunities, I think, fuck it, I should be dead. I probably would have been a crackhead or a prostitute or whatever. I'm so eternally grateful that I've worked so hard to get these opportunities that I wouldn't miss it. I wouldn't miss an opportunity like that. I want to be on my deathbed and go, I did that. I might have failed, but I gave it a go.
Well, that's the thing. You went on there, okay, and a lot of people, like you said, you wouldn't expect you to have that career. You had so many life challenges, but you went on and you won it.
I know.
Did you feel kind of like a sense of acceptance from the public that everyone got behind you?
It was so bizarre. I remember in the final, the night before the final, it was me, Pete and Jenna. And I just kept thinking, I'm going home tomorrow. I'm going to go see Brian and the kids. That's all I was asked about. And I was like, oh, I've come third. I was nicknamed the Warrington Whinger because I cried that much, because I was like, I can't do it. I can't. But once you find your feet and you just chill, and I'm just crackers. It's my ADHD superpower, I guess. Don't know. Still don't get it now.
Well, you were in there with Katie and Peter, and of course, that's probably the biggest love story on a reality show. You can't get bigger. They took over the media, the world. What was it like to be in the centre? You know, to see it.
Oh my God, it was just. I'm going red. I was like looking at Pete, going, "What the fuck is he doing?" And he was singing like Gareth Gates songs, and I was like, "Oh my God!" But it was, it was just so funny that me and Kate be talking. And then they had the first kiss. I was like, oh my God, yeah. It was great. To be a part of something, part of TV history, I never thought I'd be a part of that. And then to go on and win it, which I mean, yeah, Kate and Pete, their love story, Jenny and Charlie arguing, and I was the youngest. Yeah. And there was just me moaning.
You were having fun as well.
Eventually, I thought, no way. This is, it was just because, I mean, I think I got paid the least out of everybody in there. It was just crazy. I was surprised. I just thought, just wait till you get voted off. Don't quit. Yeah. And then once you voted off, that's fine. I didn't get voted off. Wrong.
You've mentioned Brian a couple of times, obviously, early on. And you're very similar in the sense of both from a big group, but both left quite early, and then they all went on to kind of have success. Yeah. When you met Brian, was it kind of love at first sight? How did it all happen?
No, it wasn't love at first sight with Brian. I just thought, I'm not going to be another notch on your bedpost, but he really made me laugh. Eventually, really, really made me laugh. And I think he was like my first proper grown-up love. We had this massive, but I actually got sacked from Atomic Kitten for dating Brian, and the girl said, no, you're not in the band because the record. When you're in a girl band, it's harder to get girl fans because the Westlife Boys fans really believe that they belong to them. I had bottles through it. I had death threats and everything. I was pregnant with Molly, and someone hand posted this vile letter through my mum's letterbox. It was scary. Wow. But I think that when you get told not to, especially when I get told not to do something, watch me do it. So but we were young. It were puppy loves. Like, I was 18 when I met him. I had Molly at 20, married at 21.
Well, it seemed like you were the power couple. You were in all the magazines. It just looked like this lovely relationship. So where did that relationship, in your opinion, go wrong and kind of broken?
When he went with a lap dancer on his stag night when he cheated, I think. Well, definitely, yeah. But you know what? Everyone goes on about Brian, and I get that because he's in the industry, but Brian's only a small part of my life. Yeah. There's so much more to my life and loves and stuff that's happened to me, but I get because he's also famous and I'm famous, and it's like people couldn't get over it. Yeah. But, I have no regrets with that. I wish Brian nothing but love and happiness, and, and he's got a beautiful little girl now, and his missus is lovely, and, but nice. I've been married twice since then. I've been with Brian for 6 years, it's...
and he's an Arsenal fan as well.
Got me something wrong with him, hasn't there?
So you get on well now, though?
No.
Oh.
No, he doesn't like me. Don't blame him. Oh. No, we don't really talk at all. We've got no reason to. The girls are grown up. Molly's 23 in August and Lily's 21.
Well, following I'm a Celebrity, that people fell in love with your personality. And that's when the kind of the big chapter with reality TV came, for you. You had your own shows. Yeah. What was that like to have everything on display for the public week in, week out, whether it was your...
It really, I think because... I won the Jungle in the February 2024. Brian flew over, declared his love, and then in the September he left me. So to have that kind of press attention was so intrusive and so crazy, and I didn't know how to deal with it, and I was absolutely devastated. And I had to leave Ireland and move back over to England, and my mum was an enabler, and that is... Cocaine became my best friend, really, to help me deal with it, because you literally had 40 paparazzi just following you around every day. It was just like, this is just, it was insane. Like that, I look back at those days And I still can't believe I'm sat here today. I don't know how I got through that.
I was going to say, because this continued year in, year out, a new series all about your life. Did it get to a stage where it became kind of expected? Oh, we want to know what Kerry's doing next, the next chapter.
It was like almost a given, especially when the News at World was around. You know, I was on the I used to get that phone call on a Saturday night. I was thinking, oh, fuck's sake, here we go. Going, what for done now? Hugh sold another story. You know, and I'm thinking, where are they getting? It was like I was literally a hostage in my own house. Now, no matter where I go or what I did or what I looked like, if I was half blinking, you know, I never went out getting drunk or anything like that. It was just people knew that on a weekend, like a lot of, for me, it was the people who I was hanging out with that was harder to give up than give up the actual drugs. I had to leave the people who I thought I loved. It's like being in a tribe, right? And every time you try to better yourself, they try and pull you back down because it's a reminder for them that they've got no opportunities, whereas I have. So if you're doing better for yourself, these people, they don't want that reminder for themselves. So I had to cut ties and just fuck off and leave. That's what I did, and I never looked back.
How difficult is it for you? Because if I go through something, or most of us here go through something, we can do it privately. You know, no one needs to know. We can get where we need to be and come back stronger. With you, especially with rehab, that was so public. You had no minutes yourself to kind of even think. Everyone knew what you were doing. You were being followed by the paparazzi. To go to rehab, being in the public eye, any of the times, you know, on the serious note, with that, how did you deal with that? I couldn't imagine how hard that was.
I don't really. You know what? I think I've got to give credit to my childhood because it wasn't a normal childhood. So I've never known anything but trauma and drama. So I'm very good at just cracking on and just carrying on. And only up until I got my 40s that those things hit me and I had an emotional breakdown and gone, and actually took it all in and gone, you know, that wasn't normal because I don't know any different. Doing drugs with my mum, I didn't know any different. I thought that's what you did, you know, being brought up in pubs and, you know, robbing people's credit cards, and that's what I used to do with my mum and go shoplift. I thought that was normal. I didn't know any different. Like my kids are very well spoken and private education, and you know, if I'd fucking kill him.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a completely different environment. But I guess I'm grateful because it taught me what not to do with mine, I guess. And I think it gave me the strength to think this was normal. I didn't know any different. Because don't forget, I've gone from this childhood, really, stumbled into this industry, being followed, and the drama continued. So it was just the norm, really. But there was times that I wanted to die and kill myself. But I got Molly and Lily on my wrist because I never wanted my children to feel the way my mum made me feel. Because my mum would cut her wrist, and I thought that's where I felt so worthless. Am I not good enough? And that's why I think craving the fame and craving love and craving attention all the time because I was never good enough. But I'll never have my kids feel like that, ever. So instead I put a big hole in my nose where no one could see it.
And then that's what the tattoos are there.
When I went to rehab in Arizona, I had to tell my life story. And I just thought, well, if it's genetic and if it's in my DNA, and I only had Molly and Lily at the time, I thought I'd have to be really selfish to cut through my girls' names to ever think that I never loved them. And the one thing my kids will all tell you, they are suffocated with love from me. And they know how much I want them. So much so I've made a rod from my own back that the spoiled little fuckers. Ungrateful little shits.
Did anyone ever come to you who you were close to and say, you've got to get help? Nobody.
You know what? Be your own hero. I am my own inspiration. That might sound egotistic, but you know, you can't I've never been handed anything, ever. I've had to do it myself. I've had people around me who's helped and supported, but you've got to do it. If you want it, you have to do it. No one else can do it for you. You're the one who's got to make that step and that change. I take full responsibility and, you know, acknowledge everything that I did was wrong. And there's lots of things I've done wrong, but the lessons, it's, you know, not about how many times you fall, about how many times you get back up, but people forget that. I'm still here. I'm still trying. I'm still going. God loves a trier.
You know, a lot of times now, especially with mental health, you see people, if they're hounded by the press, people on social media go nuts, give them a break, you're affecting
It's
that.
changed massively.
But
I wish I had that.
Imagine if it was because you were treated like
oh my God, I was
shit.
suicidal. That was vile. I think that was, I'll never forget that. I remember sitting there and I was on chlorpromazine. Google it. It's a psychotic drug. Venlafaxine and Zopicone, and the side effects are slur speech. Now, when I used to do the Iceland adverts, my speech, and I have, I don't pronounce a lot of my, it's like Jonathan Ross, how he's got a lisp.
Yeah.
I talk super fast sometimes and roll over some of my words anyway. And then I'll get a lot of my words back to front. Like I said, oh, where can I put my Lisa Monas? And I meant Mona Lisa's. Like I get, because I'm dyslexic as well. So, and my ADHD. So put like loads of, mental health drugs in that, you got a cocktail for disaster. And I remember sitting there and my speech was slurred. When I used to do the Iceland adverts, I used to have to wait for my speech to catch up with me because it used to be so slurry. But I've got a lazy tongue. Make a shit lesbian. Oh, would I? How do you think I got 4 men to propose to me? Hey, ain't that right? That lazy tongue does the trick, doesn't it, love? I got the proof. I have actually got a lazy tongue. So after this morning, I went for speech therapy because I was so paranoid about it. But the way I was treated, looking back on that, I wanted to. You thought I'd murdered somebody. You thought I'd gone and killed somebody. Honestly, I couldn't believe it. They said, your speech is slur, And Fern's interviewing me and she's got a copy of OK magazine and I just done a photo shoot with them. We went to Marbella, me and my friend with no kids. We're all around the pool, drinking shots. I'm there 26 years of age, on my own, with my without my kids. I was 28. I think I might have been 28 on holiday. And she goes, it says here, these are your words, Kerry. You're drinking shots. Thinking, yeah, I'm on holiday, but I guarantee you're going to go home and open a bottle of red wine every single fucking night. I'm on holiday without my kids. And your speech is slurred. Do you think you're an alcoholic? Where is that just come from? Well, you don't sound like. I said, well, maybe it's because I took my medication late last night. I have something called bipolar. They didn't say, what's bipolar? Educate us. And what medication are you taking? Do you think you're an alcoholic? You've gone for... What?
Yeah.
Well, this is just going to... And I was like... And I was being filmed for my reality show. And everyone... We're all looking at each other going, what? Because they were so used to the way I spoke. And I got in the car and I was like, oh, my fucking good God. I had to drive from London back to Manchester. And I was driving to my house in Winslow, and you think it was a murder scene. You think I'd just killed somebody. There was camera crews. I was like, what? I don't understand what's just happened. I was there to promote my show. And the next day, front page of every paper, Mary Kerry, Sherry Kerry, and it was like car crash. I was like, I don't know what I've done wrong. I've explained to you what it is. And never once did anybody reach out and say, are you okay? Yeah, I mean, that's why I look at Caroline Flack, and that's why that affects me so much, because that could have so easily been me. If I did not have my children, I would not be sat here today.
When you watch that interview, especially for me being an interviewer, you can tell there was an agenda there,
Straight
very
away.
much. And the way you were spoken
Straight away.
to.
I was just like... What do you mean?
It was like a doctor talking to you.
It was very condescending. It was very belittling, very condescending. I was there to promote my reality show. And she was like, it was like, straight in for me, And I've known Philip for years. We had the same manager. Me, Aunt Deck, Stephen Mulhern, Philip Schofield. We all had the same management team. And he's like, no, you don't. You're definitely not the same. And I was just like, okay, well, I did Celebrity Juice the night before, and we didn't finish till gone midnight. Took medication, went to bed. I had to get up early the next day, and everyone goes, "They should never have let you go on that show." I was like, but there was nothing wrong with me. I was perfectly fine. It was a side effect from a medication. I blame this. I blame them. I said, I don't blame anybody, because there was nothing wrong with me. I was in a really good place in my head. But it was a side effect from the medication because of my bipolar. That's what it was. I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm tough. And I do that with my jaw all the time anyway. And I was just like, the way I was treated, I was like, I can't believe what's actually just happened. It was just like straight in.
Have you ever had an apology from anyone from that?
Yeah, me and Philip kissed and made up, but you know, I've never seen Fern since. And it was so funny because when she was on Big Brother, like she had a few drinks and got a bit tipsy, and I was like, Fern, are you an alcoholic? Obviously, she's not an alcoholic, and I hold no resentment to anybody whatsoever. It's been, it's gone, it is, it was.
But that carried on for you. You know, you were going through all of this, and you had your relationship, obviously, with Iceland, with the supermarkets, and you lost those deals. And
that's because I was doing coke.
But they were worth a lot of money as well.
Yeah, it was a lot of money, but that was because I got caught doing coke, which is understandable, even though half their customers are on it. Oh, I can see the fucking papers now, bleeding out. But, you know, I was a demographic, and I get that. You know, I'm from a council estate, and I get all that. But that was completely reasonable. My ex-husband, Matt Croft, who was my mum's drug dealer, I thought I was going to get it for free, or at least a discount, but I never did. Yeah, they set me up. But I can't blame anybody. I took the drugs. No one forced me to do anything. It is what it is.
What for you? Because at that point you made it. You know, you were the face of this massive supermarket.
For 5 years.
It was going so well. Were you kind of like, why did I do that?
Yeah. I mean, even now I think, God, you know, they just got Josie Gibson, and I love Josie, but that advert is shit. I'm sorry. When I was on it was dead good. No, I'm joking. It's shit. Yeah, I always think, God, I'd love to get that back. I really would. Just for me, not because of the money, just to show that you can always turn your life around, and everyone deserves that second chance. And that's what it is for me. It'd be a full 360. But yeah, these things happen. And I think losing that and going into bankruptcy was probably one of the best things that happened to me, because all those little hangers on, they all just fled. They all just left, and I just fucked everyone off, and I went and started fresh.
You see some people in the industry, you know, who is as big as you.
This is neat vodka, by the way.
People as big as you,
never change.
And they go through struggles, and they get given another chance.
Especially men.
That's what I was going to say. There's
me and Katie, we get so much shit. Yeah, you can get the likes of Robbie Williams. You can get. I remember watching this like Robbie Williams. Yeah, they all go through it, and it's like, oh, you know, it's so rock and roll. Yeah, well done, dude. I think it was like, and I love Rod Stewart. I think Rod Stewart was like on Piers Morgan Life Stories, and he's like, you know, going about orgies and drugs, and he's got like 17 kids by 20 different women, something like that. Do you know what I mean? And Piers Morgan's pissing himself laughing. If I sat there and started going about orgies and drugs and all my kids from different dads, they'd be so disgusted and ashamed with me. Well, why are social services not involved? You know, because I'm a woman. I'm not being funny. I might have 5 children to 3 different men, but I'm the one who puts them to bed. I'm the one who's paid for their private education. I'm the one they come crying to. I'm the one who gets all the punches off all of them because none of the dads are involved. George is dead, so I can't blame him. But, you know, that's the case. You know, I'm the one who gets all the shit because I'm the constants in their life. I'm the one who's always there. I'm the one who's done everything for them. So I'm like Benetton. Do you remember Benetton? The advert, all different breeds and ethnics. That's me with my kids.
Obviously, you've been so open, and we spoke before this, and you said, I'm an open book. You know, and when you were diagnosed with bipolar, did that give you a sense of, it's because of this? Like, did it give you a sense of... I
actually thought I was going to have to buy a gum shield and some shin pads because I thought it was a sport. I actually cried. I didn't know what bipolar was. Never heard of it in my life. Got to go play hockey or something now. I actually cried because I got put on. I remember the first time I got put on antidepressants. I was 19. It was after Atomic Kitten. I couldn't handle the attention. Like I can deal with it now. It's not like it used to be, but I still walk down the street and get papped. I got papped. That's how it is. I'm so used to it. I know how to use the press. I know what I'm doing. I'll do my own pap pictures. I'll sell them. Write whatever story you want because I don't care because it's all bullshit. It takes a long, long time to get used to it. What did you ask me?
No, I was saying, well, I'm going to move on actually because you cleared it up. But the bipolar, like when you get given that kind of,
I didn't know what it was. I was just glad there was a name for what was up with me. Because 1 minute I'm hyper, like right, we'll do this and we'll do that, and then in a split second I go, oh, I'm not going now, I can't be arsed. Like a smell can change the way I feel. someone's tone of the voice, or if I look at myself, there's no in between, either all or nothing.
Is that exhausting mentally? Because one minute you're there, then you're there.
It's so I could cry now. It's so draining because you feel such a burden, especially I feel like that on Ryan, I feel like that on the kids, because it's like you're constantly like overthinking things all the time. It's really hard. I'm on no medication for bipolar.
You've done so well though, because I got you on social media and you see the relationship you have with your children and you see the love that's there, you know? That must be your
they're my best
biggest,
mates.
yeah.
I mean, I've made a lot of mistakes, but they're the best thing I've ever done, ever. Well, that was what I was born to be, was a mum. I might not always get it right, and there'll be things in the future I'm going to get wrong, and I have no dramas. My kids ring me up with dramas, and it's like, oh my God, like Molly will ring me, I'll be on the phone for an hour. I don't even get to speak. You just got to be there and listen, and they're my world. I do what I do for them. Even the OnlyFans, everything I do is for them. Everything.
So in 2005, you did begin dating Mark. So where did you guys meet? And
I hadn't long been out of rehab in Arizona. I think it was 6 weeks. And I went round to my mum's and I was clean as a whistle. And I used to buy my mum drugs because I wanted her to love me. That's really sad. But my mum she was vile. She really was back in the day. She wasn't a very good person, but I love my mum to bits. And she's dead funny. If you met my mum, you'd love her. She's fucking crackers, but she's my mum. But this is a time where my mum wasn't, I was just trying to buy my mum's love. And that's all I ever craved. It's all I wanted. I didn't know who my dad was. Never met him. And my mum was more like my mate. And she went, I've just ordered one of them, meaning a bag of Coke. And I was like, okay. And Mark Croft walked in. He was my mum's drug dealer. I used to drive a taxi for ABBA. That's how he used to drop his drugs off.
Wow. And then you fell in love with him?
Aww.
Or lust?
Well, the night before he proposed to me, I was on the phone to Brian McFadden begging him to take me back. But obviously he left me for Delta. And listen, when I met Delta, I'd have fucking left me for Delta and all. She was dropping gorgeous. Don't fucking blame me. I did the same. And I think when he proposed, it should have just been a one-night stand. I kept thinking, if I just get married and get in, it'll fix everything. Because my dream was to be a mother and a wife and have this normality of, wait till your dad gets in, you're in shit, you're grounded, get your homework done, your tea's on the table. That was my fantasy, that was my dream. And I just kept trying to recreate that all the time. That's what I kept doing all the time. If get married and breed, and then that's what I wanted. I kept forcing that on my kids, not realizing that I was enough for my kids, just me on my own. Because I kept thinking, I didn't know my dad. They have to have a man figure in their life, and that's not what I think about you, by the way.
And well, I was going to say, when there was a lot that happened, but in 2007, you were held hostage. In your home?
I wouldn't say hot. Well, yeah, got burgled. Oh yeah, it was horrendous. Mark set that up as well. Well, at least we think we did. Yeah, so we was downstairs in the cinema room, and 3 men came in balaclavas. One had a butcher's hook, a sledgehammer, and a carving knife. And I just kept thinking, I'm gonna die. There's no way anybody can go through something like this twice. Bear in mind, Dave Wheat had a carving knife. Told me he was Freddy Krueger, my mum's fella, stabbed her tits, chased me up the stairs, said, Freddy's home. I thought I was going to die, wanted to put his fingers up my nose and pull out, and I thought, how am I going to get out of this? And I saved the day. I got my mum out of it. And then a few 10 years down the road, these men are in there, and I'm going, no, Steven Spielberg couldn't fucking write this shit. I thought, no, I'm going to die. Now I'm going to die. I had Heidi, she was 5 weeks older than me. I thought, I'm going to die. And even now I'm still really jumpy over things, yeah.
And you think that was an inside thing?
I do now, yeah.
Wow, that's awful.
We found a book, me and my friend Debbie, and it had this man up front with a balaclava, and it said how to rob your own home. And we thought, Mark, this is Mark.
Wow.
Honestly, yeah. Everyone kept telling me leaving, but I think I was just so insecure because I thought if I marry him, he's so beneath me. I'm sorry, so he was punching. I thought, and if I give him everything, he'll love me so much and he'll never leave me. I'll just give him everything he wants. And I was just a mug. I think I was just so heartbroken from my first marriage that I was just. But the main thing is, I mean, I must have loved him at one point because I got 2 fucking awesome kids, But it is what it is. We live and we learn. Well, do we? Because I got married again.
Well, let's move on now to Celebrity Big Brother.
All right.
Now, I love the show. A lot of us do. When they asked you to do it, was it straight away yes? Because it's something you hadn't done, but we expected you to go on there because you've got such a personality. I was like, get you in there, and you're in there with Jedward. Well, yeah, I mean, you're.
For me, I like the adventure. I like being able to say, fuck it. You know, I'm so lucky. I could have been dead. And I'm not, and I'm here, and I want to live my life to the fullest. And to have these opportunities to be part of something so big and so loved, is like, I'd be stupid not to. What a great adventure, you know. I did coach trip with our Lily. You know, me and my daughter running around. It was ghost trip because it was Halloween, you know, pretending to shoot zombies in the woods. In, you know, me and our Lil on telly.
It's amazing.
But I'm so fortunate. I'm so lucky. So yeah, doing Big Brother it was an easy yes. I'd do it again. I know, I lost out by 17 votes. It was a fix. I should have won.
17?
Something like that, yeah.
Wow. This bit I'm excited about now. Talking to you, the big reunion.
Oh, that was brilliant.
2013, the big reunion. It was announced you're going back to Atomic Kitten. I think everyone was gobsmacked because we didn't see it. Even the
producer said, they all went, oh, no way. But you know what? My problem is I've got imposter syndrome. Do you know what that is? I sometimes think, I don't get it. I don't belong here. I'm out my depth. Honestly, Ryan her, I think, I'm out my depth here. And I feel the fear, but I do it anyway. I think, what am I? This is just crackers because I know where I came from. It only feels like yesterday. I will never change for nobody. I just think, what am I doing here? And then obviously I had to do the songs that I didn't sing and I thought, I shouldn't be here. And then I forget, God, I was a founder member. I named us Atomic Kitten.
Did it take a lot for you to say yes? Because were there a lot of discussions?
No, it was really exciting. My kids had never seen me in Atomic Kitten. For me, even now, I'd love DJ to see me on stage. You know, for me, it's all about the kids and for the kids to be at the O2 Arena, the fucking O2, and see their mum on stage. And when it comes to my part, you've never heard, I cheer. It makes me cry now to, you know, it was just like, you know, my kids were crying and it was just amazing. It was for them. That's them. I want them to be proud. They're so embarrassed by me. You know, I'm just, you know, that for me is just what it is and just seeing with kids and that's what it is.
Was everyone else happy with you being back in the band? Were they kind of a bit reluctant, do you know?
No, I think they were, not as far as I was aware, but I think the more we continued, you know, I've always done myself down when I've been with the girls because it just become a Kerry show and I don't intend that to happen. It's just they all start chanting Kerry.
Yeah.
Thinking about changing my name. And it does, you know, and it's so lovely and it's so nice. And I think, oh my God. And, you know, I just, and then it just, I don't know. It's not about, you know, I might use me, sell more tickets. I just don't think the girls like that.
You know, when you went on the show, I thought at first, she's going to do it for this little bit, the show.
No, we carried on. It was
You
great.
went on for years, and to see you tour and to see the videos of you on stage, you were in your element.
I loved it. I'm a knob. I'm a right Wally on stage. Honestly, I love it. I absolutely love being on stage. I love interacting. I love having a laugh with the audience. I love bringing them in and, you know, making them feel at home and giving them the time of their lives. You know, that could be somebody's best memory and I'm a part of that. That's awesome.
I know you said you will answer anything and nothing's off topic. So
You
why...
asked me my favourite sex position. Because I'll tell you. Hey, I've got a sign for that, love.
We'll put the link to
Reverse
the
cowboy, eat your heart out. Ain't that right, kid?
He's so chilled and collected.
He's so used to me, Ryan.
But why did you leave? Because there's different stories.
I didn't leave.
Did you have a bit of a Barney?
I didn't leave. No, Liz couldn't do a gig, so we used to use Michelle Heaton. I think we went to Butland. Oh, that's it. So we went to Australia. I mean, Tash had a fight because Michelle Heaton, we went to Waikiki Island in New Zealand, was it? Was we in New Zealand? Yeah. And we went on the ferry. We all had a few drinks, but this is a time when Michelle was drinking a lot. And on the way back, we got papped. I didn't even realise we got papped. Now, when we flew out, I had my own pap at the airport in London taking pictures of me and the kids. I set that up because I'm thinking, why should everybody else get the money? That was me and my kids. I did that. I'm no shame why someone else fucking make money out of me when I can make it myself. But then we've got Australia. Nothing do. I didn't even know where. I've never been to fucking Australia. Oh yeah, I've been to jungle, and but I was in the jungle. No, we was in New Zealand. We was in New Zealand, and the next day, I think his name was Dave. The tour manager went, "We've been packed," and he's showing us the pictures. And Tash went to me, "Kerry, are you sure it wasn't you?" I said, "What? What do you mean?" "Well, are you sure it was?" I was like, "What the fuck? What are you insinuating, Tash?" No, anyway, we just went at it.
Physically?
Yeah.
And then were you kicked out the band?
Yeah. No, I was kicked out the bar and they locked me out and I was trying to kick the door. I'm a nasty little fucker when I lose my temper.
And then what were you told?
No, we kissed and made up and carried on.
Oh, okay.
You're like siblings, aren't you? You spend that much time. I mean, I've had fights with Liz. Yeah, like she punched me back of head once, but you're like sisters, like siblings. You do your bastard head and don't, but you love them to bits and you're going to get on each other's tits and we're all girls and we get our periods, but there's no malice in it. And I love all the girls to bits, but it was never really the same after that.
And you say you don't talk now because they're in Cornwall now. They performed here yesterday, I think. Would you go back if they said, "Can we? Let's get this going"?
Absolutely, of course. Well, why wouldn't I? If it wasn't for Atomic Kitten, I would not be who I am. I would not be where I am today.
It's kind of.
And surprise! Here they are.
It's kind of typical because you left again or kicked out or whatever happened, and then they did the release of the Hold Again for Gareth Southgate.
Yeah, and they brought Jenna.
And you weren't in that.
I was gutted.
Was it a bit like
I'm not even going to lie. I was gutted. One Orion. I was gutted. I'm not even going to lie. I was like, fuck's sake. I want to be on, that song. Yeah, I was gutted. I was like, there was always slagging Jenny off. They were. And then she's back, but I don't blame him. You got to make your money where you can. I mean, I'd do the same. I'd give anything to have been a part of that. I'm not even going to lie. I was very bitter. I was very upset.
How much did you miss it by when you left again to that song being out? Oh, okay.
Years
so it's not.
Years,
if it was a few months, it would have been like you're joking.
Actually, when George died, Liz sent me a text and Tash did ring me and then never heard of him again after that.
I reckon there might be something, some kind of one of these reunion gigs, because only two of them.
I'm sure I'm a knobhead as well, and I can, I'm sure, I don't wish anything. I love the girls to bits, Tash just had a baby, and it's also sad because we went through so much. We went through so much as kids, and then not to have that anymore. But
never say never.
Never say never. But I wish them nothing but well and happiness and joy.
And you have done everything. You were saying earlier that you want to, you'd love to look back and go, I did this, I did that. But, Dancing on Ice, you've done it. Celebrity SAS. Why did you say yes? I mean, that would be my nightmare.
Again, because I thought, well, why would I want to say I was with the SAS and I know what that's like. That's how I am. I'm very, again, the percentage, the stats of me achieving what I've achieved from being in foster home, 8 different schools, 4 refuges, 3 sets of foster parents, 3 refuges, 4 sets of foster parents, and it's, I don't know anybody who's done it. I don't, so why would I not say yeah?
It sounds like you've been hard on yourself.
I love the paychecks.
They're good, aren't they, I hear, as well, from previous, some of them.
It's not like it used to be, but obviously, of course, I'm very, very fortunate. Big Brother was ridiculous amounts of money, but I'm very, very fortunate and very lucky to get paid such amount of money. But I feel like I'm entertaining people. I'm giving people escapism from, their real life shit of what's going on in the world. And people, you get paid so much money, more than doctors and nurses. And I get that. But when a doctor and nurses come home and they put on Love Island or they put Big Brother on, or, it takes them away from their life and gives them a bit of joy and gives them something to gossip about. And so I don't know.
I've watched a lot of interviews with you, and from years and years and years ago, and you used to always be hard on yourself, like, I shouldn't have done this. But now it's so nice because to see you reflecting, like, do you know what? I did it. I was me. And that's one thing I think we can all agree with here.
I think it's age as well. I think you have to, I'm never going to grow up because I'm a knob. And I mean a knob in a really good way because I really make Ryan laugh sometimes.
Ryan, is it a good way?
I still make you laugh, don't I,
She said she's a knob, but in a good way.
I am a knob in a good way. I am, honestly. I think when George died, and I was, no, I'm lying. When me and George split up, I really reflected on myself and I started doing podcasts. I started listening to self-help like Bob Proctor and Les Brown, and I really, really focused on myself. And you can't, your best relationship you're ever going to have is with yourself. And I still struggle with that. I'm not sitting here going, oh, my life's perfect because I've got a great watch and I've got a nice car. I still get up days, Lewis, and I think, I can't cope. I still cry. Oh my God, things still affect me. I've just got a better sense of how to deal with them. I'm more aware of who I am. But, my life is really, really good, but I still have moments where I'm like, I'm not coping very well. But I think that's just being fucking human.
Yeah.
I'm not here to pretend to be something I'm not. I'm not going to go on Instagram, well, my life is so amazing, because sometimes it's really fucking shit and it does me head in. My kids have got drama. Me and Ryan, we argue like cat and dog sometimes. That is life. Whereas I used to try and pretend to the public, my life's a fairy tale. I'm so happy and loved up and I've got all these amazing, because it's fucking hard work. And it is, and it's not easy. And I think that is where I've changed. I tried to be something that I wasn't, because that isn't life, is it? I was trying to please other people when really I just need to be real with who I am.
And now you don't
care. And I'm a life coach now. Yeah.
And you got OnlyFans, and you say it's going really well.
OnlyFans is fucking awesome. Let me tell, thank you, girls. Thank you, feet.
You're doing well on it, though, you said.
Doing really fucking well, yeah. It changed my life.
Would you recommend it to other people?
I don't know why other people aren't doing it. I don't know why everybody's not doing it.
Shane, come on.
I'm not even bullshitting, honestly. I mean, I sat my children down and I said to my kids, because it was during COVID, I had this photo shoot with the son. It was a naked, artistic shoot, and that got cancelled. I couldn't pay me rent. I was like, well, what am I going to do? I thought, well, I'll join OnlyFans. And when my kids used to walk in my mum's house, my mum used to have my page 3 photograph of me like this with my boobs out. So I go topless on the beach, building sandcastles. What's the big fucking deal? Look at the amount of shit that I get for doing OnlyFans, right? Oh, your poor kids. Oh my God, that's a disgrace. I watched the second part of Bridgerton last night. I don't do half that fucking shit on that screen. What's the difference? Because I didn't go to theatre school, darling. Do you know what I mean?
Double standards.
You get put in a bracket and it's like, hang on a minute, I'm not fucking finger blasting myself. Although I could do that. It'd be great content. But you see what I'm saying?
Subscribe, guys. You've heard it here first.
There. You never know what's coming on. But you see what I'm saying? But you understand what? It's double fucking standards. Do you know what I mean? I'm stood there getting my tits out. I can pretend to do all that, and it's all smoke and fucking mirrors. I'm selling a fantasy. So sign up, because it's a really good one. I don't see the difference.
Apart from OnlyFans, what have you got coming up? Anything you can tell us about, like a new project?
Yes. So I'm going into the sex industry anyway. I am. Sex toys.
Really?
Yes.
What, your own range?
Yes.
With who?
Me and Ryan are business partners. So we have our own dating app, which is Marnie, if you're single and you want to mingle. But everyone deserves a happy ever after, so get yourselves on there. We've also got our own fitness platform, MFit, get yourselves on there. We've got Dedicated as well. And now we're just about to go into the sex toy industry. It makes sense, really. Sex sells, fitness sells, death sells. Why not?
Sometimes
don't look so surprised.
No, sometimes in interviews we get gifts, and I don't know if you've come with a little care package, because happily accept that.
Oh, would you?
Yeah. Bring them in next time.
Ryan's my gift to you. That's your care package.
Kerry, honestly, I know earlier we joked and you said, you probably say it to all your guests. I've wanted to interview you for such a long time, because everyone would agree here. You've always been so true to yourself, authentic. You're the most incredible mother, but even better person. So thank you so much for sharing your life stories with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Thank you. And thanks everyone for watching. Thank you.